And you've probably seen me build that, seen me paint that. You might have even seen me race that. Such an iconic RC. I absolutely love this frog. I love it to bits. Hi guys, Brett here from Hearns Hobbies, and today I would like to take a look at and dive into the box of the Tamiya Frog. Such an iconic RC. I absolutely love this frog. I love it to bits. And you know why? Now you've probably seen me build that, seen me paint that. You might have even seen me race that. But let's have a look in the box and see where it all begun. These have just come back into stock and I'm excited about it, and you should be too. Okay, let's jump on the overhead and have a look at this beautiful, beautiful box art. Just iconic, isn't it? It is the 80s RC all over. First released in 1984, I believe, could be even 1983. I'm sure that somebody out there will know exactly what month and what day. But yeah, actually was at a time at the dawn of racing. So these actually did get raced a bit. And a lot of people at the time were modifying them, and there's heaps of optional and upgrade parts for them. Third-party industry was a really big part of RC, and yeah, even like I think it was a 1984 German off-road national champion. So yeah, really cool. Let's have a look in the box. All right, so look, of course we've got the big frog box. We'll get that out of the way. Beautiful trailing arms and gearbox. Look at that iconic gearbox, hey? High mount motor in there. Differential idler gear. Did have preset gearing. Comes with 3 pinions and 2 pinions from memory. We'll have a look at that further. A couple of gearing options. Of course, being a late model Tamiya release, does have the Hobby Wing 1060 style speed controller, plug and play. It's beautiful that they put these in. Comes with the motor of course as well. Ah, these iconic 3-piece wheels. Bead lock technology back then, and these will test your metal as a builder. These are not the easiest wheel assemblies to build, but you've got to take your time. And one point of interest is when you are using Loctite on these, make sure the Loctite is plastic safe. If you don't use plastic safe Loctite, it will actually melt the wheel and they'll all come loose anyway. So you need to use plastic safe Loctite on these, and if you don't use Loctite, they'll rattle apart. You can see on mine I've alleviated those problems by fitting some custom 2.2 inch wheels. And this sucker get them my favourite big pink tyres on there, of course. Got the driver figure, classic Tamiya driver figure, of course. Oh, servo saver. Who doesn't love the Tamiya servo saver? The P parts tree. Iconic body shell. This is still the original mould. If I put my hand under here, that is still the original mould from 1983. There you go, that gives an idea of the release. 1983, you can see the original stamp there. Beautiful, 1983. Such a classic RC. When you talk of classic radio control vehicles, there really is 3 that stand out in the Tamiya catalogue. You've got the Grasshopper, the Hornet, and the Frog. So you've got to cut this body out. It's not the hardest job in the world, it's not the easiest, but it does have body clips on the side. Mount the wing, which is not the strongest point. Yeah, iconic body shape. Buggy. We've got the Tamiya Super Gripper tyres on there. They do last for ages, but the little knobs do wear away pretty quick if you are ripping around on the asphalt or tarmac. Let's have a look at the big beautiful instructions and stickers. Okay, let's have a look at the instructions and the stickers. I absolutely adore the frog, but have a look at that, no guts, no glory. That's back when the Tamiya cars used to all have yeah, slogans on the wing, and that was unique to each model. Frog Racing Team. And you can see that I've actually had the sticker replicated because I didn't think the red would look any good on the green in black, so I had that recreated, as well as the Tamiya Racing decal. I've had that recreated in the Hearns Racing, and on the side Hearns Racing Team to replicate the Frog Racing Team. So a little bit custom bits and pieces that you can do on your own as well, but a lot of people do love the box art. Beautiful sticker sheet. Did change a little bit from the original just because of licensing. So this one originally I believe was NGK, and some of the lights, like the bright lights and the KB lights, some of the branding has changed a little bit just for licensing and royalties, of course. Let's dive in to the instructions. Oh, look at that, beautiful, exactly as the instruction was in 1984. Tamiya warnings, quite entertaining actually, worth a good read. And you start with this sort of ladder-esque monocoque chassis. You know what I mean? So it's 3 parts, so it is like a ladder chassis, but it does make this like plastic trellis frame. And they use this across a couple of models throughout the range, commonly referred to as, is it the SRBs? Oh, I'm getting all mixed up now, but yeah, SRB chassis, super racing buggy, I would like to say. You've got a double wishbone front suspension with inboard springs. Have a look at that, beautiful engineering. So they have these little cantilever arms here, and they act on springs inside the front bulkhead. Now if I bring the Frog over, you can see exactly how that works. Doesn't have lots of range of movement, and it's undampened, it's just a spring, but it's pretty cool nonetheless, and it is actually really, really strong. Moving forward in the instructions, what have we got here? Oh, the drive shaft. So these did change from the original release in 1983. So they used to be like a hexagonal sort of bone adapter, and they used to round out. So now they're more conventional cross pin style universal and dog bone assembly. That said, with the flex in the arm, and they got those iconic boots on the back. That said, with the flex in the trailing arm and the slop as they get older, they can pop out, but it's like it punishes you for making a mistake. Now the kit, being a classic to me, does come with bushers, so I do highly recommend putting a bearing kit through it if you are going to use it for anything else than sitting on the shelf. You can see here how the rear trailing arms are held on to the chassis. A very, very clever idea. I'll bring the car over again to see, you can see it in the skin, how it looks when it's assembled. So you've got the top mount shock here again with the lever action of the trailing arm. Not a lot of suspension travel, doesn't handle great, but it's effective nonetheless. Coming over to the drive shafts and the rear dog bone assembly, it's really actually quite smooth and nice. Yeah. All right, what else are we looking at? Then we get into the oil filled dampers. Now there's nothing crazy here, it's only got the 2 of them on the rear. Nice metal units, double O-ring seal. You do have to put the E-clips on with caution, of course, so they don't go flying and shooting across the room. Yeah, don't scratch the shock shafts, use your shock pliers, or like here, the rag over your pliers. Now it does list a load of different oils for it, but it does come just with yellow, I think, from memory. Must be 400. But yeah, it comes with yellow bladder style cap on there. Like I said, not a great unit, but more scale and iconic than anything else. There's no ride height adjustment or anything like that on the standard shocks. So it comes with 3 pinion choices, like I said. And if you're going to use the standard wheels, putting the big pinion in is fine for most applications. That's the way I built mine, and even with the big tires on the racetrack, it's really well suited to the 540 motor. Mine's actually got a sport tuned in it, and it's still not really over geared for using at the track. But it's really nice. It comes with 3 pinion gears, and it tells you how to put it on and space it out from the motor, because it sits in the shaft. And then the gear mesh, where's the spur gears? I've missed the part with the spur gears. This is the part that it explains the gearing. So if you put the 18 tooth on, it is 7.3 to 1. Put the 19 on, 6.7 to 1. And if you put the 16 on, it's 8.5 to 1. And that works in conjunction with the different spur gears. There's 2 spur gears in the packet from memory. It doesn't show it here, but yeah, there's a spur gear from the 3 types below, and they all clip in with this center idler gear here, and there's nothing else to adjust. Really cool. So even if you wear one set out, you can just put another set in and keep playing with it. So it will last for many, many years. Gives you 3 gear sets to wear out effectively. Putting in the servo and the radio gear, pretty straightforward. Does have a top mount servo, which is quite unique. Yeah, unique to this chassis. Then we get to the old Z-bend steering rods, and these are less than ideal, less than strong. Just a bit of piano wire on the Tamiya servo saver, but you know what, I mean, they bend but they're not really a weak point of the car. If you break those, you're doing something wrong. Putting the tires on, again, it goes to show you how to put the sort of the 3-piece wheels together, and then there you are. Then you're onto the body, cutting it out, painting the driver. Bob's your aunt, Bob's your uncle, Mary's your aunt. So let's have a little bit closer look at the chassis of the Frog. So we've got the one body clip here, over here. Can be a little bit awkward to get the body on and off. Sort of have to squash it and pull it out at the same time. Here we go. Get that off. And here we have. So that's what I was talking about with the top mount servo in there. You can see that I've still got radio gear fitted in this. Got a receiver in here, double-sided tape to the servo. And that bit of tape here, that was actually for the transponder for lap timing. So put the transponder in here, plug that into the receiver, off we go. You can see I've got the 1060 speed controller mounted down there on the chassis, nice down low and out of the way, out of harm's way. And you've got 2 motor wires that come up to the top here, and I've in fact got an old school black can sport tune motor in there, probably about 25 years old, that motor, but really cool. Runs really smooth, really nice, and I really enjoy it. Battery is removed from underneath like so, and I use lipos in this. The 9-step 4200 lipo is a really great fit within the chassis rails. You don't need to space it out or make any modifications. Clip it in and off you go. And then of course, because I'm using lipos, I've upgraded to a Dean's plug arrangement. If I can get it out. Put that in there at some point. Just going to show you the plug. Here we go. So there's a Dean's plug. So the battery sits in here. We'll plug across here and plug in, poke it into the body, and we are done. But yeah, that is that chassis that I was telling you about. Really good. It's actually really good from a flex point of view, rigid point of view. It doesn't break very easy. You can see here by the crappy Z-bend wires. I mean, yes, you can upgrade it to ball ends and turnbuckles and stuff, but like I said, for the intended purpose, which is just a bit of vintage fun, I mean, it suits the purpose fine. I haven't put an incredibly powerful servo in there. It's just a D300 entry-level servo, and it works really well. Let's have a look further in the box. So this is the goodies box. This is the Frog box. This is a unique box to the kit. Get my hobby knife over here. Let's cut it open and have a look what you get in the box. Here we go. Okay, this is the good bit. Wow, check this bad boy out. There's your chassis, like I said, 2-piece chassis that bolts together. Here's your gear set. So yeah, there's 3 spur gears to choose from, like I explained. You got 3 spur gears of different sizes, and they correlate to what pinion you put as per the instruction. You've got the big diff gear here with the bevel gear differential. Not the strongest diff in the world, and if you are like trying to do wheelies and stuff like that on asphalt or grass, it will wear over time. But if you look after it and treat it nice, I mean, I've had no dramas with mine, but the bevels were a common thing. This little cast gear. There's the shock, they're the damper units. Because they're beautifully machined, sort of part scale, part functional. Nice big shock shafts, you're not going to bend those in a hurry even. We've got your antenna wires, iconic of old RC races. When I started racing in 1993, I turned up to the track with a Frog for the first time, and actually had to take these off because these were banned. These were a safety thing, but now we run them again at vintage meets for a bit of fun. Got some shock components, bumper bar. I've got the front cantilever arms here with the front spring system. You've got your drive shaft boot that comes as one piece, and you actually have to cut it. Really cool, really good build. It's actually all come rushing back now. And you've got your A, B, C and D parts bags. And unlike modern builds, you do have to sort of open them all at once. So it's really nice when you're building these ones. Have 3 different containers or 3 plates out on your workspace and put them with each one, because you do certain steps have to grab a couple of screws from this one, a couple of screws from that one, and so on. Here we have the metal parts bag. You can see the diff gears in here. There's the pinions, big alloy pinions. Yes, they are affectionately known as made of cheese, but if you keep the lubrication up to them, and I use white grease, ceramic grease, lithium grease in my Frog gearbox, they do seem to last quite well with moderate use. Got the out drives and the diff pin here holding it all together. Dog bones, there's the updated dog bone of the re-release, and the metal steering arm steering block. You've got your Mabuchi 540 standard motor that comes with it, and just about every other Tamiya kit. Gearbox case, pressed metal, iconic Tamiya bumper bar used on many different models, and more hardware. So there you go. So that is a quick look at and unboxing of the Tamiya Frog. I'm wrapped that it's back in stock. These won't hang around for very long. Do yourself a favour and frog on. I'm Brett from Hearns, and thanks for watching me take a look at the Tamiya Frog.